In this video, we're focusing on a key skill, mastering prompts. Prompting or prompt engineering is about refining how you communicate with AI to get the best responses. Just like with people, the more context, clarity, and direction you provide, the better the response. It's the same for ChatGPT. The way you frame a question or give instructions makes a big difference in the quality of ChatGPT's responses. So let's explore how to ask better questions, refine prompts step by step, and how to turn vague requests into precise outputs. Before we dive into the demo, here's a simple prompting framework. All you need is two things: context and expectation. The key to better responses is giving ChatGPT background on the task you are working on. This is the context. Then, when you specify the type of response or the output that you are looking for, that's when you add in the expectation. This simple two-step approach makes a huge difference to ensure that you get clear, useful results. Let's imagine I am studying for an exam and I'm looking to ChatGPT to help me prepare. An example of a really vague prompt would be something like, "Help me study for my biology test." This type of direction lacks context and there's no clear expectation. What we notice now is that ChatGPT responds with a series of clarifying questions to actually get the context it needs to help us on the task. We could actually jump in and respond to those questions, or simply go back and provide the context it needs. But let's take a look at a better prompt, a better version of the prompt we originally created. To improve this prompt, we would say, "I have a biology test on human anatomy in 2 days. Can you quiz me with 10 multiple choice questions on the circulatory and respiratory systems?" You can see that the first sentence is the context. We're explaining the specific area of biology that we are focused on. We outline that we have an exam in 2 days, and we're being very clear that the output that we're looking for is a 10 multiple choice question response. What we have here is exactly what we're looking for. We now have a multi-choice questionnaire that we can use to help us prepare for this exam. So what really makes a prompt like this better? Well, we've done a really great job of being explicit about the subject or the area that we're working on. We've provided a timeline and expressed that the test is in 2 days. And then again, we've been clear that we're looking for a series of questions as the response. Let's take a look at another example. So a vague prompt would be something like, "Help me with my history research on the gold rush." High chance that ChatGPT comes back and asks us for more context. To improve this prompt, what we want to do is we now want to add in context and expectation. I'm writing a research paper on the impact of the gold rush on California's economy. Can you help me find 3 key historical events, summarize primary sources related to the topic, and suggest credible sources for further research? We've added in the context and we've been clear on our expectation. First of all, we have the 3 key historical events we asked for. We have the primary sources summarized to help us understand them in more detail. And we now have a list of credible sources to help us with further research. And these sources have also been linked as hyperlinks. You can see that ChatGPT gave us a really highly detailed response that was specific to our needs. In the last example, I'm going to show you how you can prompt ChatGPT using your voice instead of text. ChatGPT is multimodal, which means it can handle a variety of inputs. To do that, I trigger a new chat and I come down to use voice mode. This is going to trigger a new interactive window and allow me to converse with ChatGPT. I'm going to give ChatGPT a voice prompt that includes context and a clear expectation. Hi, ChatGPT, are you there?
Hey, I'm here. What's up?
I have a class presentation next week covering binary trees, hash tables, and linked lists. And I want to make sure that I explain these concepts without oversimplifying them. The presentation is 10 minutes long, and I want to improve my delivery. Can you give me some tips for ensuring that I land these concepts with an undergrad student audience?
Absolutely. For a 10-minute presentation, it's crucial to keep things focused and engaging. Here are some tips. First, start with a relatable analogy for each data structure. For example, you could liken a binary tree to a family tree. This makes it more accessible. Second, use visual aids like diagrams to illustrate how each structure works. This helps visual learners grasp the concepts. Third, keep your explanations concise but precise. Avoid jargon, but don't shy away from technical terms if you define them clearly. Lastly, invite questions. It keeps the audience engaged and helps you gauge their understanding.
Amazing, thank you.
You're welcome. You're going to do great. If you need more help or want to practice your delivery, just let me know.
When we come out of a voice conversation with ChatGPT, we'll see that the entire conversation is captured as text, which is great because we can come back, we can look at the advice that ChatGPT gave us, and we can also re-engage in another conversation. Just quickly before we wrap, here are some additional hacks to help you improve any prompt instantly. First is to ensure that you ask for examples to help you learn. Instead of something like explain photosynthesis, let's try a slightly different approach. Here we're saying explain photosynthesis in 3 simple steps using an easy to understand analogy. Make the analogy relatable to everyday life, then provide 3 world examples of how photosynthesis impacts us, such as in food, oxygen, or energy. Keep the explanation clear and engaging for a general audience. You can see that we're really guiding ChatGPT to provide examples to help us learn. The next is that you can ask ChatGPT to return a specific format. If you don't like large chunks of text, you can actually ask for bullet points, downloadable documents, and even a step-by-step table. Finally, to increase the amount of context you provide ChatGPT, you can assign it a role. Instead of saying something like explain compound interest, you could actually use a prompt that says something like this. Act as a finance professor and teach me about compound interest using a step-by-step example. Then give me a practice problem to solve and explain the correct answer. So to wrap, the more context you provide, the better the response. It helps guide ChatGPT towards the outcome you expect. If you're unsure, treat it like you're giving instructions to a human. Ultimately, you are in control, directing AI to achieve the results that you need. I'd encourage you all to give it a try, ask ChatGPT a question, and then refine it to see the difference.